Hi, my name is Evan Morris, and I want to tell you about my friend Josh and his story.
So I have a wife and two sons. Sons are 4 and 9 months. I've been with my wife for 17 years, I believe. So we've been married for 10 years.
We met online. It's been about 17 years ago since we've met and been married for 10. He just made me smile. So I just kind of knew from the start that, we'd have a future together.
For a living, I always did like blue collar physical labor jobs. So I worked at a motorcycle shop for a little bit. I worked at a lighting company. As far as what I enjoyed to do is mainly revolved around cars. I mean, building cars, driving cars, collecting cars, stuff like that. I mean, I've always been a Ford Mustang guy. Just my dad's been a Ford mechanic for 40 years and so I grew up around Mustangs and stuff like that, and kind of what I've always been into.
So I was at work and I got a handful of missed calls. And so I finally called his cousin back, and his cousin said, "You need to get in the car and you need to come up to Northeast Georgia Medical Center." And I was like, "What's going on?" And he's like, "Josh is in the hospital."
Pretty much it was just a spontaneous blood clot on my spinal cord. Um, just out of nowhere. The doctors don't know what caused it. There was no trauma. Typically, they said a blood clot like that is from some sort of trauma, car wreck, something like that. And I didn't have any of that. I was just sitting at work, had some pain in my lower neck, upper back area. And I didn't think anything of it. It was kind of like a cramp, real bad cramp. And everything went numb from my chest down. And I had to take an ambulance from there to the hospital.
I was pretty shaken up when I found out that Josh had this random blood clot on his spine.
They removed the blood clot, but I guess the damage had already been done to my spinal cord by that point. I don't have any mobility. I have some sensation. It's not normal, it's spotty, depending on. It's kind of weird the way it works. The blood clot was on my right side, and they said that the way the spinal cord works, if it's affected on whichever side, that's the side of the body that gets affected the most. So I have a little more sensation on the left than the right, but it's none of it's normal. It's all spotty. And then in certain points of like my legs, for instance, I'll have a little more sensation in a certain part than another one, but not normal sensation. And I have no movement from my chest down. I was in the hospital itself for 13 days, I believe it was. And then I was at Shepherd Spinal Center for physical therapy and rehab for 2 months, I believe, altogether. When you go from using, your legs and stuff like that every day to using a quarter of your body essentially to do everything with, it's pretty hard.
The whole time Josh was at Shepherd Center, I was 100% into it. I would work, drive down to Shepherd, stay with him at night. I knew I wanted to do as much as I can for somebody that I was going to marry. I wanted Josh to be able to stand up beside me. I knew that's what he wanted to do, as any married couple, new couple would want to do, getting married. In some way, we were able to do that. Josh was able to get some leg braces, and he was standing at the end of the aisle when I walked out with my dad. And it was probably, one of the happiest moments of my life. I knew it was going to be a new way of life, watching Josh and how he'd have to take the time and get in and out of a car, being able to get up and down from the bed and, transfer from one spot to another. It's not as easy as us jumping up and walking away. Be angry and say, "I can't do it." He would always just keep trying. And he was like that from day one, whether it was in the hospital or in therapy or home or out with somebody else. Like, he would try as much as he could by himself without asking for help.
Quitting was never an option. And it's just another obstacle. It is what it is. Anything that happens in life, it may be hard, but you just deal with it.
In the beginning, after we got married, Josh and I both assumed that we couldn't have children. It wasn't till 2020 when we actually figured out that we could, and it was just a blessing.
So I have 2 boys, Lincoln, he's 4, and then Weston is 9 months. They're both wild. Lincoln is, he got diagnosed last year with, autism. So,
It's been an answered prayer to be able to have our boys. I think outside looking in, you know, if somebody looks at us, they might see a struggle, but it's a normal day to day with
yeah,
us.
it just, kind of is what it is.
Yeah, so
You
we
just-
don't look at it as a burden. Josh has been a great dad since we've had our boys. For a while, we didn't think we could have kids. So it's just really great to be able to have a family. Because that's just all we ever wanted, was to be able to be parents and have a family, and raise kids and have a life, and we have, so it's a great life. We obviously want to build it bigger, but what we have now is perfect.
I've been researching for a while about stem cell treatment on spinal cord injuries. The hope is to regain any functionality day to day. I mean, the spinal cord injuries are so weird. Even same patient, same injury levels, you could have the same injury type and 2 totally different outcomes. The hope would be 100% regain, walk, do everything like normal, but just any functionality. If I can get core strength back, or any thing that helps me in my daily life would be hugely beneficial.
I really just want him to be able to be the best dad he can. We just want to be able to, like Josh said, just give this a shot and, hope he can regain something back, be able to live his life to the fullest. And that's what we really want. And, God has a plan for everybody. We just hope that, it's to help Josh get what he can back.
To find out more information or to do a tax-deductible donation, visit getjoshslegs.com to find out more information or to follow along in the journey. Thank you.